What if you could buy vegetables once, eat them, and then regrow them instead of buying more? This Amish secret transforms store-bought veggies into an endless supply of fresh food right into your kitchen. The simple techniques Amish follow, and using them, will change the way you shop and regrow the veggies forever. The average American family spends nearly $800 monthly on groceries, with produce accounting for roughly 25% of that budget. By implementing traditional Amish vegetable regrowth methods, families are discovering they can slash this expense dramatically, often saving $100 to $150 monthly with minimal effort. These savings become even more impressive when examined over time. Store-bought organic green onions might cost $1.99 per bunch, requiring weekly purchases that total over $100 annually. Using Amish regrowth techniques, that same initial $1.99 investment can yield continuous harvests for months, reducing your yearly cost to under $10 for the same amount of produce. The Amish approach to vegetable regrowth isn't just about frugality, it's about resourcefulness. Through generations of practical wisdom, Amish families have perfected methods to maximize yields from kitchen scraps that most Americans thoughtlessly discard. People are so disconnected from their food these days, they think crop rotation is what happens when you rearrange the fruit bowl. The simple act of placing lettuce cores in shallow water or replanting celery bases can transform your kitchen from a place of consumption to one of production. We've always seen food as a continuous cycle, not something you use once and throw away, explains Sarah Miller, whose Amish family has practiced these techniques for generations. Their methodical approach to regrowing vegetables has allowed them to reduce their produce expenditures by approximately 40% year-round. The beauty of these methods lies in their simplicity. No specialized equipment or extensive gardening knowledge is required, just a willingness to observe the remarkable regenerative capacity of common vegetables. With nothing more than kitchen scraps, some containers, and a sunny windowsill, anyone can begin reclaiming grocery dollars that would otherwise be thrown away. The journey to grocery savings begins with understanding which vegetables respond best to regrowth efforts. Let's see the top candidates that Amish families prioritize for their remarkable ability to spring back to life after being harvested. Not all vegetables have the same resurrection powers. Amish gardeners have long recognized that certain store-bought vegetables practically beg for a second chance at life, while others are destined for the compost bin. Green onions top the list of beginner-friendly regrowth champions. Simply place the white root ends in water, and within days, new green shoots emerge. These onions grow back so fast you might suspect they're trying to escape something, probably the salad they were in. Lettuce follows close behind on the success scale. Romaine, butterhead, and even red leaf varieties will sprout new growth from their cores when placed in shallow water. The humble lettuce core transforms from trash to treasure with minimal effort. Celery ranks third among Amish regrowth favorites. That thick base you typically toss away can produce tender new stalks when positioned correctly in water. The transformation begins within days, revealing the plant's remarkable regenerative abilities. Herbs like basil and mint round out the top 5. These aromatic plants readily develop roots when stem cuttings are placed in water, allowing you to expand your herb collection from store-bought sprigs. Historically, Amish communities selected regrowth candidates by observing which plants showed signs of life even after harvesting. A surprising 87% of common kitchen vegetables show some regrowth potential, though only about a third produce enough new growth to be worthwhile. The key to successful selection lies in examining the base of the vegetable. Look for intact root structures or growth points. These are the vegetable equivalent of a restart button. Vegetables with visible root nubs or central cores consistently outperform their counterparts. Now, grab those green onion scraps from your cutting board. Your journey into endless harvests starts with these humble beginnings. Day 1 begins with what might seem like kitchen garbage. Cut green onions about an inch above the roots where white meets green. Place these white ends in a glass with just enough water to cover the roots. Position them on a windowsill where morning light can reach them. By day 3, tiny green shoots appear from the center of each stalk. The green onions grow so quickly, you'll wonder if someone's secretly watering them while you sleep. Probably the same person who's eating all the cookies. Water quality matters more than most people realize. Amish gardeners traditionally avoid chlorinated tap water, letting it sit overnight before using it for plant growth. This simple step allows chemicals to evaporate, creating a healthier environment for your regrowing vegetables. When day 7 arrives, your green onions will likely have grown 3 to 4 inches. The regrowth rate during this first week outpaces any other period, with studies showing green onions can regrow at rates of up to half an inch per day under optimal conditions. Comparing water versus soil cultivation reveals interesting trade-offs. Water-grown onions provide immediate visual satisfaction as you watch roots and shoots develop. However, soil-planted onions ultimately produce stronger, more flavorful harvests. Traditional Amish practice blends these approaches, starting in water for quick results before transitioning to soil for longevity. The only product we'll ever promote on our channel is a book by Claude Davis, a veteran prepper, about 126 superfoods and preservation methods from crisis times like the Great Depression and wartime that are impossible to find elsewhere. We decided to promote his book because we are the last generation able to share these techniques and superfoods to our children or grandchildren. It would be a shame to see this information about highly nutritious foods and preservation methods to survive crises disappear. You can also find a book about herbal remedies from Nicole Apelian on their store. If you're watching this on TV, you can look up our channel, Frugal Solutions, on your phone or tablet and find the books by clicking the link in our channel description or any other video description. For continuous harvests, the secret lies in selective cutting. Trim the outer stalks first, leaving the central growth point intact. This technique can extend your harvest window to 3 to 4 months from a single starting bunch. If your water turns cloudy or roots develop a slimy coating, simply rinse thoroughly and change the water. Fresh water every other day prevents these common issues. Your flourishing green onions aren't just saving grocery money, they're preparing you for the next resurrection miracle hiding in your refrigerator's crisper drawer. Those leftover lettuce cores heading for the trash? Stop right there. The bottom inch of romaine, butterhead, or iceberg lettuce holds untapped potential for weeks of fresh greens. Most households throw away roughly 30 pounds of lettuce each year, with average prices at $2.50 per head. That's over $100 literally tossed in the garbage. Regrowing these cores can recapture much of this wasted money. Cut off the bottom inch of your lettuce head and place it in a shallow dish. Add just enough water to cover the bottom half of the core. Within 3 days, the center begins pushing out new growth, while tiny roots emerge from the bottom. Different lettuce varieties offer distinct flavor profiles when regrown. Romaine develops a milder taste than its store-bought version, while butterhead varieties maintain their buttery texture but with slightly more pronounced flavor. These lettuce cores don't know the meaning of retirement. They just keep on growing. Temperature plays a crucial role in successful regrowth. Lettuce thrives between 60 to 70 degrees, making most kitchen counters perfect growing spots. Anything warmer and your lettuce might bolt, sending up a flowering stalk instead of producing tender leaves. After 2 weeks in water, the economic benefits become obvious. A typical regrowing lettuce core produces enough leaves for 3 to 4 side salads, all from something usually thrown away. The Amish approach emphasizes transitioning water-started lettuce to soil for maximized yields. Once roots reach about an inch long, plant the core in a shallow pot with the new growth just above soil level. This simple step extends your harvest window from weeks to months. Speaking of kitchen scraps with remarkable resurrection powers, that thick, often discarded base of your celery bunch holds similar potential for transformation. Ancient Amish wisdom treats the celery base as a perpetual food source rather than kitchen waste. This thick, light-colored end stores enough energy to fuel multiple rounds of growth. Cutting straight across the base about 2 inches from the bottom preserves the growing point needed for resurrection. Place this celery heart in a shallow bowl with an inch of water. Change the water every other day to prevent stagnation. Week 1 brings modest changes. Small yellow leaves emerge from the center by day 3, while tiny white roots begin to form. Starting a celery garden is cheaper than therapy and probably more effective for those who talk to their plants anyway. By week 2, the transformation accelerates. The center sprouts 3 to 4 inches of fresh green growth, root development intensifies, and outer stalks begin to green up. Position the growing celery where it receives at least 4 hours of morning sunlight for optimal results. Week 3 marks the critical transition point. When center stalks reach 4 to 5 inches tall, plant the entire base in soil with just the new growth exposed. This traditional Amish practice tricks the celery into thinking winter has passed, triggering rapid growth. Most Americans discard celery leaves, missing out on their concentrated flavor and nutrition. These leaves contain 5 times more vitamin C than the stalks and add bright, intense celery flavor to soups and stews. Space constraints? No problem. The Amish taught that celery thrives in confined spaces. A 6-inch pot accommodates a single celery plant perfectly, making it ideal for apartment windowsills. A family of 4 can maintain perpetual celery harvests with just 4 plants in rotation. The humble celery demonstrates how even the most unlikely kitchen scraps can become productive plants. Those carrot tops and sweet potato ends collecting in your kitchen have similar hidden potential, waiting to be unlocked. While celery and leafy greens easily show their regrowth potential, root vegetables hold even more surprising resurrection abilities that the Amish often rely on. Those carrot tops you toss away can feed your family again. Carrot greens aren't just edible, they're packed with 6 times more vitamin K than the root itself. Simply place the top inch of a carrot in water, and within days, feathery greens emerge. These carrot greens taste similar to parsley with a slight carrot flavor. Chop them into salads, blend into pesto, or use as an elegant garnish. Harvest regularly to encourage continued growth. The carrot top won't produce a new carrot, but the nutritious greens keep coming for weeks. Sweet potatoes hold even more regrowth magic. A single store-bought sweet potato can produce up to 12 new plants. Cut the potato in half and suspend it over water using toothpicks. Within 10 days, sprouts called slips appear from dormant eye buds. These sweet potatoes multiply so efficiently, they make rabbits look like they're practicing abstinence. When these slips reach 4 to 5 inches, gently twist them off and place in water. They quickly develop roots of their own, becoming independent plants ready for soil transfer. Each slip grows into a full sweet potato plant capable of producing 4 to 5 potatoes, a return that makes Wall Street investments look pitiful. Ginger might be the ultimate regrowth champion. Break off a piece with visible growth buds, plant it just below the soil surface, and within weeks, new shoots emerge. A single ginger piece can expand to fill an entire pot within months. Keep harvesting small pieces while leaving others to grow, creating a perpetual ginger supply. During the Dust Bowl era, Amish communities relied heavily on these root vegetable propagation techniques. When seeds were scarce and money scarcer, regrowing from kitchen scraps became not just thrifty, but necessary for survival. The secret to root vegetable success lies in temperature control. Most prefer it warmer than leafy greens. A sunny window where temperatures stay between 65 to 80 degrees provides the perfect environment for these underground wonders to reveal their full potential. Just as these root vegetables thrive with the right care, your growing collection can become a steady source of fresh food with the proper environment. Now, let's create the perfect space that will take your plant's growth to the next level. A dedicated growing area transforms random vegetable experiments into a productive mini farm. The Amish have long maintained indoor growing spaces, even in the smallest homes, recognizing their importance for year-round food security. Start with location. South-facing windows provide ideal natural light, capturing 6 to 8 hours of sunlight daily. East-facing windows work well for leafy greens that prefer cooler temperatures and morning sun. Those with limited window space can use tabletops positioned near light sources. Container selection doesn't require fancy equipment. Repurposed yogurt cups, cleaned food containers, and mason jars all serve perfectly. Drainage matters more than appearance. Punch holes in the bottom of containers destined for soil. For water-started plants, clear containers let you monitor root development. Some of these DIY containers look so rustic they could qualify for early retirement and move to a farm in Florida. Support systems prevent leggy growth that flops over. Bamboo skewers, discarded chopsticks, and even straightened paper clips provide perfect stakes for taller plants. Amish gardeners traditionally use woven twig supports to cradle expanding plants, a technique easily replicated with inexpensive craft supplies. Water quality significantly impacts success rates. Chlorinated tap water can inhibit root development, particularly in sensitive herbs. Fill containers and let them sit overnight so chemicals evaporate before using. Collected rainwater provides the ideal growing medium, free from additives that can stunt plant growth. Traditional Amish fertilizer formulas rely on kitchen waste. A weekly application of heavily diluted coffee grounds provides nitrogen for leafy vegetables. For flowering or fruiting plants, crushed eggshells steeped in water release calcium that prevents blossom end rot and strengthens cell walls. This growing system doesn't just produce food, it eliminates waste. Every vegetable scrap becomes potential future meals in a cycle that connects modern kitchens to ancient practices of conservation and respect for resources. This practice not only reduces waste, but also brings fresh food to your table, as this old practice is making a comeback for good reasons. Now let's look at how to tackle some common hurdles for even better results. What once was old becomes new again. Traditional Amish vegetable regrowth practices are surging in popularity as more people rediscover this practical wisdom. The numbers tell an eye-opening story. Americans throw away a staggering 30% of all purchased produce, translating to roughly $165 billion in wasted food annually. Behind this revival lies a perfect storm of economic pressure, environmental awareness, and pandemic-fueled interest in self-sufficiency. When grocery store shelves emptied in 2020, many turned to growing food at home. Regrowth methods offered an accessible entry point, requiring no seed purchases or garden space. The environmental impact can't be overstated. Food waste creates methane in landfills, a greenhouse gas 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Regrowing vegetables diverts waste from landfills while reducing packaging, transportation, and refrigeration demands associated with store-bought produce. These old techniques are suddenly popular again, just like high-waisted pants, except vegetables are actually useful. On Amish farms, waste reduction isn't trendy, it's tradition. Their approach treats every resource as precious, viewing vegetable scraps not as garbage, but as future food. This perspective has supported Amish communities through economic hardships for generations. Modern applications go beyond individual kitchens. Schools nationwide have implemented windowsill gardens using regrowth techniques, teaching children about food systems and resource conservation, and encouraging 72% of participants in school programs report continuing these practices at home. The concept scales beautifully from individual efforts to community impact. Neighborhood veggie growing exchanges allow regrowth enthusiasts to trade varieties and expand their cultivation repertoire. These informal networks build food resilience at the local level while strengthening community bonds. Embracing this approach comes with challenges, but even these have simple solutions. Every garden faces obstacles, and regrowing vegetables is no exception. Fortunately, Amish wisdom provides simple solutions to the most common problems. White fuzzy growth on water-grown vegetables signals harmful mold development. The Amish remedy is straightforward. Rinse the plant base thoroughly, change the water completely, and move to a location with better air circulation. Adding a drop of hydrogen peroxide to the water prevents future outbreaks without harming plants. Seasonal temperature shifts require adaptation. During winter months, indoor air becomes drier while temperatures fluctuate near windows. Moving plants a few inches farther from cold glass and placing shallow dishes of water nearby increases humidity, creating a microclimate that mimics spring conditions. For every 15-degree drop in temperature, growth rates typically slow by 30%. Yellowing leaves indicate nutrient deficiencies, often solved through Amish diagnostic techniques. A quick remedy involves watering with cooled cooking water from pasta or vegetables, which contains leached nutrients that plants readily absorb. The improvement typically shows within 48 hours. Commercial produce treatments can inhibit regrowth success. Many store-bought vegetables are treated with growth inhibitors to extend shelf life. Trying to regrow these treated vegetables is like trying to get teenagers out of bed before noon. Sometimes you need special techniques to make it happen. Soaking vegetables in warm water for 15 minutes before attempting regrowth washes away surface treatments. This simple step increases success rates by approximately 65%. For water-grown plants that seem stalled, the Amish solution involves shocking them into growth. Moving a plant between sunlight and shade for alternating 12-hour periods triggers hormonal changes that can jumpstart development. This technique works particularly well for stubborn root vegetables. Light direction matters more than intensity. Plants naturally grow toward light sources, developing unevenly if not rotated. Quarter-turn rotations every other day ensure symmetrical growth and prevent the leggy stretching that leads to weak plants. By using these techniques to get your plants growing strong again, you can ensure they thrive. With these fixes done, you're ready for the secret method that kept Amish gardens growing non-stop for decades. Perfect timing separates casual regrowth enthusiasts from true veggie resurrection masters. The transition from water to soil environments marks a critical moment in a plant's development. Wait too long, and roots become adapted to water, struggling in soil. Move too early, and fragile root systems may collapse. The Amish approach relies on root length as the definitive indicator. When roots reach approximately 1 inch for leafy greens or 2 inches for hardier vegetables, the plant is ready for soil. This timing maximizes survival rates, with studies showing proper timing can increase success by nearly 80%. Sequential growing systems allow continuous harvests without gaps. Staggering your starts by planting new vegetable scraps every 7 to 10 days ensures something is always ready to harvest. Designing a proper sequential system involves tracking growth stages on a simple calendar. The Amish traditionally use moon phases to time their plantings, but a kitchen calendar works just as well. Start a new batch when the previous batch moves to soil, maintaining the perpetual cycle. Cross-pollination becomes possible once vegetables flower. If lettuce or other greens are allowed to bolt, produce flowers, they create seeds for future plantings. Growing vegetables from kitchen scraps is the only time recycling has ever produced something tastier than what you started with. These seeds often produce plants better adapted to your specific growing conditions than store-bought varieties. Breaking conventional rules leads to surprising successes. While gardening books insist certain vegetables can't be regrown, Amish gardeners experiment fearlessly. Tomato slices placed on damp soil occasionally sprout. Bell pepper bases sometimes produce new leaves. Potato eyes can grow even without the surrounding potato flesh. The true secret lies in keen observation. Watch your plants closely, noting which varieties thrive in your specific conditions. Record successful techniques, failed attempts, and unexpected results. This ancient practice carries profound wisdom. The humble vegetable scrap contains everything needed for new life. Nature wastes nothing, and neither should we. These simple Amish techniques transform kitchen scraps into an endless food supply. What most people throw away can become tomorrow's meals with minimal effort. Start with just one vegetable today and watch as nature's remarkable regenerative power unfolds on your windowsill.